The amount of space between 2 points. The interval that separates us from where we are and where we want to be. Distance. There are countless ways to measure this separation. If you stacked 1 million atoms on top of one another, the distance would equal the width of a human hair. The average distance between the top of the human head to the bottom of one's feet. The width of the Grand Canyon. The distance across the United States. The Earth is 93 million miles from the Sun. We are 2.5 million light years away from the closest galaxy. Distance. We have constantly sought new ways to overcome separation. We practically and efficiently improve upon every effort. We attempt to reduce every distance into one that's more manageable and convenient. But there is one separation we cannot overcome, and it's not between continents or the expanse between stars and planets. It is the separation we have all been born into. The separation from our Creator, our Maker, our God. We cannot overcome on our own, not by knowledge, not by our good deeds, and not by our vast resources. But while we were powerless in our sin, Christ came. God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Christ came to us in the form of a baby. He walked the earth as a man. He died a scandalous and inconvenient death on a brutal and bloody cross to once and for all destroy the separation between our Heavenly Father and his children. And he forever conquered the power of death when 3 days later he rose from the grave and left his tomb behind. What was once unobtainable is now freely given to those who will receive. The chasm that once separated us from the King has been overcome. And victory is ours, if we will receive it.
You believe it?
Yeah!
You know, I've had a few guys ask me these kind of questions. They say stuff like, well, you know, how come it's not like this at home in my church? And you know, that's okay. You know what makes this work in your church? You. You. Now, let me kind of pull it back a little bit. Don't do anything stupid. Because you can. You know, how many of us are capable of doing something stupid? One of the most comforting things in my life is to understand that God saves a whole bunch of nutheads just like me. But, you know, this don't mean jack if you don't take it home. And here's the challenge I want you to get: is that before you take this to the church house, take it to your house. Because if it don't work at your house, then it's just phony at his house. Okay, you okay with that? My wife even told me, she said, you know what, if you can't get along with me, you probably can't get along with Jesus either. That was wrong. You know, when stuff like that gets said, you just stand there and just look. If I say anything that pops up in my head, I know I'm going to look as dumb as can be. Guys, you can do this. You can do this. And several guys say, man, this is the best weekend of my life. It's supposed to be. It is supposed to be. Life changing. You will never be the same. What if I go back? You're going to go back miserable, and that is just the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. But seriously, guys, you can walk this out. Because you're the man God wants you to be. I believe God set this whole thing up. And people have said, man, you know, Pastor Dave, you know, you did a good job. My job, I am the donkey Jesus rode in on. That's it. And when you're cheering, you're not cheering for me. How many of you guys know you're just a donkey? Your wife been calling you that for years. You just heard you do that. You stupid. She might not say donkey, but you did. I'm just playing. But God set this whole thing up. Absolutely set this whole thing up. And God is the one that spoke to the heart of me and spoke to the heart of Pastor Hutch at the same time and set this up. We have never even met eyes on each other until this weekend. That's not I don't know the man. Me and him, we're brothers now. From another mother. But, I know God set this up. So I want you to welcome the man of God for the hour.
Thank you, man, for a wonderful time. I thoroughly enjoy, like I said, hanging out with men. Worst thing about doing conferences is eventually they come to an end. Am I right? It's hard for me to hear me. Some of you get that on their home. As Dave was talking, Pastor Dave was talking about just a donkey. I smile at times because that's pretty high. That's pretty high. I'm simply an instrument. How many of you have ever had just one of the most amazing milkshakes in your life? If you have, just let me see your hand. Just an amazing milkshake. After you finish praying that God remove the calories. From that milkshake. How many of you ever stopped and just start worshiping the straw? As a matter of fact, the straw is usually gone by the time we get to the end of that shake. Can I have an amen? The only thing a straw is worth is to get the goodie to the gooder. That's all the straw is worth. That's what I am, guys. I'm nothing but a straw. To be an instrument of passage from God to you. You guys are the blessing to me. You see, you have honored me this weekend because I get to speak all over. People see me and hear me all the time. Radio, television, articles, writings. I travel all over the world speaking. Changed a nation in 3 days. But you know what? Very few guys get the blessing of standing in front of you. Thank you. And that is my blessing. Many of you guys have asked a lot of questions about football, and we have a chance to get into some of those tomorrow morning. Got some funny stuff. Got some shocking stuff. I got some hurting stuff. And I have felt all of them. But you know what the game of football is, right? It is 22 men in dear need of rest being watched by over 50,000 in dear need of exercise. That's football. I'm gonna get in your grill tonight. Not disrespectfully, but I am gonna get in your grill. Come on. Bring it on. Because you and I got to come to the conclusion that if we're going to be warriors, you got to take a lick or two. And sometimes has nothing at all to do with you. It may be someone watching you. The need to see you walk through it. As a football player and as a pastor, I used to do my ministry half season. I would play football up until the playoffs or Super Bowl, and then I would be full-time ministry during the off season, back into football. And then when I retired, I went full-time ministry. Is this too close? Is this too close?
No, you're fine.
I am okay. I don't want anything to get in the way tonight because we're going to have to make some decisions. I don't want you concentrating on it. That's the best I can see. So when I went into the first time I became a pastor, because I didn't want to be anybody's pastor. I wanted to roam free. Can I have an amen? Amen. I wanted to have the Ken Hutchinson ministry. Praise God. That's what I'm talking about. But I was studying the Bible at the time about 5-6 hours a day. And I got so convicted about the bride of Christ that I said, I'm going to go full-time church ministry. Drop all those aspirations of Ken Hutchinson. But I used to have a trick. Because before I got sick, I was what people call a moose. And I could lift some serious weights. I would work up, we call pyramid up. Then you max out on your pyramid 2 or 3 times, and then you would walk back down the pyramid. Well, at my top, I never ever maxed out, just went up on the pyramid scale. And I would max out at the top of pushing 3 times 625 pounds. And so I used to go down to the gym called the animal room. Can I get an amen? That's what I'm talking about. You go, man, you're going to take that back to your church too. And guys in the animal room and down in the gym was totally stuck on themselves. Can I have an amen? And if you don't think the guys in the gym is not stuck on themselves, why are there so many mirrors on the wall? Work on your form. Work on your form. At that time, I was about a solid 270 pounds. And I would walk in, and every one of the guys that I would sucker into coming to church would use that experience to sucker other animal pushers into the church.